Welcome to CC Cycle 2, Week 17. We are going to be doing the new grammar for this week and we are going to dive right in. First off, we're going to be starting with history, and before I actually look at the history sentence, I wanted to just give a few tips for remembering the history sentence for this week. We are looking at World War II leaders, and I want you to try and remember that the war was between two sides, the Allies and the Axis leaders. And they are like the good guys fighting against the bad guys. So it was three major countries fighting against three major countries. So just keep that in mind as you learn the history sentence for this week. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the board and look at the history sentence. The history sentence for this week is, tell me about World War II leaders. World War II Axis leaders were Hitler of Germany, Tojo of Japan, and Mussolini of Italy. World War II Allied leaders were Churchill of England, Roosevelt, Eisenhower, and MacArthur of the United States, and Stalin of the USSR. And now, if you can look at me, I'm going to show you a few hand motions. World War II Axis leaders were Hitler of Germany, and this is supposed to represent Hitler's moustache, Tojo of Japan, Mussolini like a moose of Italy, and then World War II Allied leaders were Churchill, like a church, Churchill of England, Roosevelt like a rose, Eisenhower, and MacArthur of the United States, and then Stalin of the USSR. Okay, and that is the history. Moving on to the Latin. The Latin for this week is the first conjugation endings, future tense. So it's bo bis bit, bimus bitus bunt. Bo bis bit, bimus bitus bunt. And don't forget, it's first conjugation endings, future tense. And I'm going to sing the song that's on the app. If you don't have the app, but it's quite easy and it's easy to remember. So it's bo bis bit, bimus bitus bunt. Bo bis bit, bimus bitus bunt. First conjugation, endings, future tense. Right, and that is the Latin for this week. Moving on to the math. This week we are looking at the area of a square. And I've got a little video that I'm going to be attaching after this. Just a fun short video to help you to memorize today's math. So the area of a square equals length of its side squared. And that is the math for this week. I'll say it again. The area of a square equals length of its side squared. Okay, and don't forget to keep a lookout for that video. Moving on to the English. This week we are looking at a noun. Right, let's read it together. A noun names a person, a place, thing, activity, or idea. Okay, and then there's some pictures just to help you to remember. Okay, and here are some pictures just to help you to remember. So a noun names a person. Here we've got a person. A noun names a place. Here we've got a place, a little house, somebody's house in the mountains. A noun names a thing. Here we've got a hamburger representing a thing. A noun names an activity. Here we've got a prayer meeting, a husband and a wife praying. And lastly, a noun names an idea. Here we've got a little boy with an idea. So don't forget, a noun names a person, a place, a thing, activity, or idea. Moving on to the science this week. We will be looking at Newton's second law of motion. I'm going to read out the statement for the science, and then I'm going to do some hand motions. So Newton's second law of motion states that force equals mass times acceleration. And that's how you write out the equation. Force equals mass times acceleration. Right, so if you could have a look at me, I'm going to do some hand motions. Newton's Second law states, force equals mass times acceleration. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Force equals mass times acceleration. And don't forget the equation F equals ma. And that is the science for this week. Last but not least, we're going to be looking at the geography. This week we are looking at the Central European countries. I'm going to name them for you, and then I'm going to sing a quick song. And my encouragement for this week would be to make a copy of the Blackline Master and to get the children to go through, I think we've memorized almost the whole of Europe now. So to get them to remember these countries that we're learning this week, and also to recap on the countries they've been learning the previous weeks. So the countries for this week is Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Switzerland. Okay, and the little song that I'm going to sing is to the tune of London Bridge is Falling Down. Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, Switzerland. Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Luxembourg, and Switzerland. And that is the new grammar for this week, and wishing everybody a good week further. Until next time. Goodbye.